Hey gang, Sarah here. I'm here to talk to you about last week and kind of letting you know how this week is going to go. So, give you a little context of going into my week. I think the last we left off was that I was feeling a little bit behind at work. And I'll happy to say that coming out of this week, which is like, I don't know, end of week 31, I am feeling very caught up. So I'm super happy about that. Like, yes. And I'll kind of talk to you a little bit about how I got there. And very focused. So I'm really happy with the productivity system and how it's coming along. And I'm starting to kind of really feel back to normal. So if you guys saw a previous video, I used this like jar as an example of like all the things going through my mind at one point. And I could definitely say that it's starting to calm down a bit. So the chaos is starting to become minimal. So a little bit of going into this week, or I think when I talked to you last, I had set up the week and I may or may not have been traveling. So I found out Sunday I was going to travel. Went to travel on Monday, and I had to move all my meetings over and for the end of the week, and then there was a couple that I strategically moved so I'd be at the airport to take those calls. Then I woke up, my flight was delayed, so it put me in the car later than I wanted to be in, but I still had calls I had to take. It's like I had to take these calls. So anyway, I ended up working from my car a little bit, and as I was working from my car, and I was parked in a parking lot, so I was safe with it all, just to kind of make sure that y'all know that I wasn't on my phone or anything like that. I noticed that my meeting, one of the meetings I was going down for, had canceled. So still running in the meeting, then I see my flight was delayed again. And so it kind of just threw everything off. So I ended up basically working from my car that day and not traveling, which was kind of ridiculous. But anywho, then from there, the work Sarah life is, I was like really trying to catch up on the process map that I was trying to do. So I had a deliverable that I had to get a process map done, and this was really stressing me out, and I told you I made a mistake and I had to redo it all over again. And I just kind of want to give you a little bit of context of this map. So like, this is the process map. Like I had to print it out so I could proof it all, and with that comes like a work instruction, and I knew that I was the bottleneck on this, and it was really bugging me. So I did end up working late one of the nights just to make sure that I got it done, because I was at a point where I was like, okay, it's either like bite the bullet and work late or just continue to be behind, and I just couldn't do it. So I took it, I just worked late and I got it done, and some other stuff that I had to get caught up on. But I will say, you know, in hindsight, Friday Sarah is so grateful because I feel like I know what's going on, what's needed. I feel like I got everything that needs to be done. So I'm feeling good about it. It was definitely worth the couple hours I put in extra. I was sick one of the days, and I went to bed wicked early. So there was that. From the health standpoint, kind of leading me into that, definitely was not really as active as I wanted, because again, I was like just working and it was a little bit chaotic. And I did prioritize hanging out with my friends a couple times, so I was feeling a little bit more connected with my friends. But one of those hangouts was a walk, so we were able to catch up and feeling good, kind of reconnected back with my friends. And then from a finance Sarah, Money World, I did actually do a deep dive on my finances, like my yearly spend, which kind of was insightful for me to see where I was spending money. So I didn't really spend any money this week. So that was also great. So going into this week, I feel really good. My productivity system is definitely calming the chaos for me, and I'm really excited about that. Going into next week, or this week coming up, I'm feeling like I have some free time on my calendar to continue to chip away with those things. So my question to you is, how do you guys manage? Do I just bite the bullet and work late, or do I just keep riding out being behind? So tell me what you guys do in the comments below to help kind of mitigate that, because I definitely don't want to make it a habit to working extra, but also I do want to be dependable and reliable. So I want to know how you guys all balance that. So put that in the comments. So we're going to get into planning my week for week 32, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hey gang. All right, so we're getting into it here. I'm just adjusting. So you'll see some red pen action happening on my weekly layout there, and those are all the things that I had to move in order to accommodate for the travel / non-travel that happened to me. And here I'm just checking off like my weekly goals, and I will say I'm excited because I actually got a bunch of things that I wanted to get done. And that made me feel like it was actually worth putting the time and effort into it, my week. So now I'm just really setting up my week for 32. And this is where I'm just plugging in all the meetings. And I don't actually use my weekly calendar to like drive me through my day. I actually just use the weekly calendar to see what I have available in hours in the day, right? So like Monday is a pretty light day for me on Monday, and then Tuesday, I don't have a lot going on Tuesday either. And this is this is normal. It's really the first full week of the month, so everybody's just scrambling for the meetings next week. So it does kind of make sense to the cadence of the month. Wednesday's a bit of a heavier day, and if I'm kind of managing my expectations, when I'm doing my daily planning, I'm not going to have a high expectation to get a lot done on my to-do list on Wednesday, whereas on Monday and Tuesday, because the majority of my day is open, I'm going to actually try to chip away at that to-do list a little bit more. And that's just how I'm balancing the day. And if I look on Thursday, it's kind of the same thing. So again, I'm not going to have a big expectation of getting a lot of to-dos done. I'm just going to focus on more being ready for those meetings on Wednesday and Thursday, whether they be like speaking points or agenda items that I have to put together, or just whatever the meeting actually calls for. I just really like to kind of set the expectation for that going forward. And so now I'm just kind of going into setting the weekly goals. And again, this is just the different areas of my life and what my intentions are, or what I need to get done that week. So if I'm looking at, some of my own personal goals, it's, that's what I call the Sarah area. That's like, I'm trying to read through a book that I really want to prioritize, and I want to read a total of 35 pages that week. I know that's a little like ridiculous sounding, where I'm prioritizing the number of pages. It's just because if I look at the book, I get a little bit like, oh my God, I got to read that whole book. And I actually want to read it, but it's more manageable chunks, right? So 35 pages a week or 5 pages a day. I know, it's just how my brain works. But anyway, because I really feel it's important for me to read that book, because there is a framework in it. And I know that it's one of my areas of growth. So anyway, working on that. I got some date nights planned this week, and also just family dinner. And my son's getting ready for college. I know, my younger son. Can you even believe this? Those of you who've been following for a while, my kids were, I think, like starting high school or middle school or something when we started this channel. So anyway, so getting my younger son ready for college, because that's coming up. And then for health, it's just more, I'm really just trying to keep up with walking. Because I really do. I like going out. Actually, when I went for a walk the other day, I was like, oh man, these flowers smell amazing. So I stopped and smelled the flowers. So anyway, it's kind of silly, but I'm really just planning on that just to stay active. And I'm just using my mind map to help me kind of figure out, what projects I need to be looking at and involved in and kind of work through for myself, my team, and just some of the different areas of my life. So really just using that mind map for that. And that's usually what I use it for, just to kind of keep everything in flight. And now I'm really just looking at my to-do list and kind of running off my to-dos or checking off my to-dos. And I have to tell you, so first I'm adding all my new to-dos in from the week. So I write any incoming activity, I put it in, I write it on the daily page, and then I add it to my running to-do list. And I will say, I know I said in the intro that I felt like I was really catching up. I got a lot of stuff done this week. I can't believe it. When I was going through my to-do list, I was just like, I did that. I felt so productive and on my game here. I mean, it's the perception I have of myself anyhow, but hey, I don't know. But from a data standpoint, I'm checking more things off than I'm adding. So if I could just claim this as a win, and if you all will let me have it as a win, I would really appreciate it. So I'm really kind of happy to see that. And as I was going through that to-do list, I was like, oh yeah, there's some stuff that I want to add to it and start to focus on, because I have a vacation coming up and I'm going to Vegas, and I want to get a rough agenda. I'm not going to be tied to my planner or schedule, but I just want to have some ideas going to Vegas, because we're going with a large group and it's going to be really hard to get dinner reservations and stuff. So I want to do a little bit of planning for it. And also I need to plan my outfits. So I want to make sure that we get the Vegas trip kind of ironed out this week. So that is it, everyone. I really hope that, this is helpful, seeing how I kind of manage the chaos in my life. And let me know in the comments how you catch up when you're feeling behind, or if these are even helpful to you, because I don't know if I'm just talking to myself. But you guys seem to like the kind of planning my routine and my planning and my productivity system, and I feel like this is just real life. So thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great week. Bye.